What's up, everybody? I hope you guys are all doing great. So, bringing you another Delta Force video. I just want to say thank you guys again for all the, support I got on the operator, tier maker. It was really, really good. I think for sure there's probably one or two picks in there that I would probably put a bit higher, but that's because of obviously testing with them and playing with them a lot more. So I've gotten better with them. But I figured why not do a tier list for the actual guns for the operators in the game. Now, I just want to state a few things. I only play Warfare, so I don't play Operations. So in terms of operations and how things work, I mean, I'm assuming the gunplay is about the same, but I'm assuming it depends on still your attachments and all that type of stuff, and maybe rarity. I don't know. Second, this is just my opinion again. If a gun works for you, that is great. And honestly, I want everybody to really tell me maybe what your favorite gun is down below. That would be great. Just because, everybody has certain favorite guns for certain classes. And again, there is guns that work for certain people that may, for example, not work for me or may not work for someone else. And maybe you just have that really godlike build that it just has no recoil and you're killing people insanely. So, yeah, please let me know. So we're gonna get into this. This is only the assault class. Some of these guns, for example, the shotguns, are able to be used on other classes, but I figured I am going to be putting these guys in the situational area. So let's just do that right now. So we have the shotgun over here, the SKS, which is a marksman rifle. Very situational, but I will say just don't use the marksman rifle on an assault class. You shouldn't be an assault player using an SKS. But yeah, maybe there'll be someone that does it. So yeah, I think that is basically it. Yes, it is. So yeah, the three shotguns are all situational. Overall, are they good? Yes. But again, it depends on what type of shotgun you want and also the situation. Like, for example, one of the best maps for probably the shotgun is the is Shafted, and it's because of a lot of close quarter combat when it comes to after the first initial area. I mean, you can still use the shotgun in the beginning area, but still, yeah, it's really, really good. But you have to be good with the shotgun as well. You know what I mean? So yeah, let's get into it though. So the AK-12. I've used the gun, and I have to say it's maybe a beta tier. Now, the reason I'm gonna say it's a beta tier is simply because the fire rate is all right, and the muzzle velocity is all right. It's more or less, how would I say? I guess it's really the damage to. In terms of the damage with the fire rate, it's just not great compared to some of the other guns. The recoil pattern is also not the greatest. You really, really have to fight with the gun sometimes, which is a bit annoying when it comes to medium and long distance. And that's really the thing about the assault class that's really a hit and miss a lot with certain guns, is the fact that a lot of guns are good at close, medium, and far, and then there's certain guns that are good at medium and far, and then there's certain guns that are good at close and medium range, but not good at far range, for example. So I think the AK-12 does do really well fighting in the close to medium range. In terms of far range, it's still not the greatest, but yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'm not using the right sight or maybe the right attachments to be able to tap people from really far away. But yeah, overall the gun's not super bad. I think if you have the right attachments for the gun, you can make it a good gun. It's not better than some of the other guns in the game right now, per se. Now, the AKM, I'm going to be putting the AKM as the alpha tier. I think the AKM packs such a huge punch. The recoil pattern does go a little bit more to the right, so you do need to be careful in terms of your horizontal and vertical recoil. It does have a kick, however, it is pretty stable. So it's something that if you can control the gun and hit your shots, it is pretty nasty. Now, the biggest drawback I think for the gun for sure is the fire rate. It's not that good compared to some of the other guns in the in the fray, but overall how good the gun is, it really packs a punch, and you can kill people sometimes 3 bullets. It's just, It's a nasty gun. I've been using it a lot. I'm still trying to find that really, really good loadout, but that's because of the fact of you just got to test things. You got to see really in terms of control, stability, and handling what's really, really good for the gun and what type of fights you actually want to use the AKM for. Because a lot of the times, in close to medium range, sometimes the guns that shoot faster will kill you, which is annoying. You know what I mean? But that's a lot. It's in terms of obviously where you're hitting your shots and all that type of stuff as well. But definitely, I think it's an alpha tier gun. I think you definitely don't want to sleep on the AKM, because it is just a nasty gun that packs a punch. Now the AKS-74. This is a gun that's universal across all the classes, so I'm just gonna be putting it as a beta gun. It's a good gun to start with, but there's just other better guns to use. I think the AKS-74, sorry, overall is really, really like it's nice, but it's just not. You might as well use the other guns that are really set for the class rather than forcing yourself to use basically the default gun. It's just meh. It's just not really there. It's a good gun overall though. Trust me. You level the gun up, you get the attachments for it. It's not bad, but again, I think the other guns are definitely still better. The AS Val. I'm in a little bit of a situation for this gun because I feel like it should be in a way of like buff please or beta. I'm just gonna put it as buff please just because I've used the gun and I just feel like it's uncontrollable. I think the recoil pattern is just. I mean, I got the gun pretty leveled up to the fact that like I have attachments for it, but like when you're using an assault rifle, like this assault rifle is basically close to a little bit medium range. You don't want to use this far range. In medium range fights as well, you're going to be going through bullets so fast. I will say that it has a great fire rate, but you're going to be going through bullets so fast. Are you going to be able to kill three people sometimes in certain situations? Probably not. I just think it needs a little bit of a buff in terms of its recoil control, just so you can control it a bit more, or buff it in terms of what it's really good at, so in terms of close to medium range, in terms of the damage. But there's just way better guns in the class compared to the AS Val. And if you guys have an AS Val loadout that really, really works, please drop it down below as well. But overall, I love the AS Val in a lot of other games, but in this game, it just shoots so fast, and the recoil is just it's just too much sometimes, especially when you're in situations where you need to flick, and it's your gun's just gonna go everywhere. So yeah. The Car 15, it's a universal gun. It's actually pretty decent, and I am gonna be putting it at beta tier because again, it's a universal gun. It's something that you get the right loadout for it, and it does work. But I would prefer to still use some of the other guns that are in the other classes than using the Car 15. However, I will say Car 15 is pretty nasty at times, and I do enjoy it. I would say you could put it at alpha tier as well, but again, since it's a universal gun, it's not specific to the class. It's just something that it's a good gun. You find the loadout that works for it, and enjoy it if you want to. But again, there's better guns to use than the Car 15, which you can use across all the classes. I believe. Yeah, you can even use it on the sniper, I believe, as well. Now, the CI-19. You get this gun, I think, at like level 43 or level 46 or something like that. Really high level warfare level. It's a king tier. This gun is nasty. I'm talking about it's a literal laser beam. The damage is insane. The fire rate is still pretty good. I know there is a gas block that you can put on the gun that actually lowers the fire rate, but it's still good. It's still really, really good. It stabilizes the gun a little bit better even when you do that. And I think I even saw in my first game today, someone was like, please nerf the CI-19. And I was like, you don't need to nerf the gun. You just need more guns. Simple as that. And the CI-19 is just nasty, man. I think I really give it to the gun. There's a lot of people using the gun. And it's something that it does dominate from all ranges, which is crazy. So could it use a nerf? I prefer probably not a nerf and maybe just a buff to other guns. but overall, it is definitely a king tier gun. Now, the M16A4, I'm actually gonna put as buff, please. I love the M16. There's I played the M16 when it was in Modern Warfare 2, Call of Duty Black Ops, Call of Duty 4, where it was just like literally one tap boom. The M16A4, I feel I mean, I didn't level the gun up fully, but I leveled it up enough to be like, okay, I don't want to even use tokens on this gun because I know I'm not, there's just better guns to use than this gun. It is so mediocre in terms of its burst fire, where I've hit people 2, 3 bursts sometimes, and they're just live. They just run off. They live. I'm like, it feels like I'm hitting them with a BB gun, and it's so annoying. It's so bad. Again, I might not have the good loadout for it, but when there's other guns, especially with how the maps are formatted right now, where you're using the M16A4, and I mean, yeah, medium to long range, it's not too bad. But again, if you're not killing in those, if you're not shooting and killing within those first 2 to 3 bursts, or at least the 2 bursts or the 3 bursts, then it's just not worth using the gun. So yeah, the M16A4, maybe I do need to level it up a little bit more, but overall, it's just not a gun worth using for the assault class at all. I think again, maybe if I did get the loadout right, it would be a better gun, but as it stands right now, please just buff this gun. Maybe just a little bit more damage, or the damage fall off, or something like that. I don't know. It just needs something. The M4A1 is king tier. Now, there's one drawback to the M4A1. You need to find the correct build for this gun. It's a king tier gun. Some people may not like this gun. I didn't like the gun in the beginning, but it's a king tier gun simply because of the fact that the M4A1, with how the gun works, is that it's really controlled around the stability and the control of the gun. The recoil pattern can get a bit crazy. If you don't have good stability, your shots are kind of going everywhere. It's a gun that you do need to find the right build. However, it is really, really good. Sometimes it's a laser beam. Sometimes it's so good up close. But again, it is something where if you find the right build for the M4A1, it is a king tier gun. It's definitely not alpha tier. It's definitely king tier. I think there was a time where I was just getting killed by only the M4A1, by every assault player I was getting killed by, and it was something of like, I really wanted to yoke people. I wanted to be like, stop, please. This gun is pissing me off because it has such a fast fire rate sometimes. So you lose a lot of the gunfights if you're using a lot of other classes that don't have the fire rate that the M4A1 has. So yeah, it was super, super annoying. And you are gonna see it now. If you're watching this video, you're using it. Someone else is using the M4A1. You're gonna be getting killed by it, and you're gonna be like, damn it, I watched that video and now I'm only getting killed by this gun. So yeah. The PTR, I'm actually going to put the PTR as alpha tier. Some people may not be using this gun, and I've been using it. It packs a punch. It has slow fire rate, so close range is be very, very sketchy of using it close range. But it hits like a rock, bro. I love how fast it kills people. I haven't fully gotten the gun maxed out level, so I haven't been able to put like the extra extended mags on it and see how good it is when it comes to using 40 rounds. That it's just like, okay, like am I getting 2-3 kills each time, or do I have to kill, am I killing 1 or 2 people and then I'm reloading and I get killed by a third person or something? Because there's a lot of guns here that you can kill 3-4 people sometimes with 1 mag and you're fine. But I will say this with the PTR, the slow fire rate really is the downside of it. The recoil pattern, it does say that it has a bad recoil and control, but I was able to control the gun pretty well, and I think again this really depends on how you build your gun and the loadout you have for it. So yeah, definitely give the gun a try. It's an alpha tier gun, I think. I don't think it's beta. I think it's definitely alpha just because of how hard hitting the gun is. It's pretty badass. So yeah, definitely give it a try. The QBZ95, I'm gonna be putting this as beta tier. I haven't been seeing that many people use it, and I think it's simply because of the damage. I don't know what it is, but sometimes it's a stable gun, but it just doesn't. It feels like, again, you're hitting people with a BB gun. It feels like, or a water gun. It's just some, I'm spraying. I think there was one time I was using 30 rounds to kill one guy, and I was getting hit marker, miss, 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 hit marker, hit marker. I'm like, dude, what am I? And of course, it's a healer, so he like heals while he's running. But I'm just like, if it was any other gun, 4 or 5 bullets, this guy would have died. The QBZ, it was just, oh, it's just there is better guns than the QBZ. Would I say to buff the damage? Maybe, but yeah, maybe I would say probably buff it, please. I would say buff the QBZ just because it's just like it's such a stable gun. It's just the issue of damage. I feel like the damage is just not there. Again, maybe I don't have the perfect loadout for it, but the damage is not there compared to the CI, the M4, the AKM, the PTR. Like it's just not there. So yeah, it's extremely annoying. Now, last but not least, the SG552, insane king tier gun. I can't wait to make a video on this gun. I've been trying to get a lot of clips with it because it is a nasty gun. It's a laser beam. I will say this, using this gun early on when you don't have a lot of attachments with it, you're going to be struggling. You're going to be like, this gun sucks. But you need the 45 round mag. The fire rate is insane. The stability on the gun is insane. The control is insane. This gun is insane. And I'm not going to say it's better than the CI-19, but man, this gun, it just packs a punch once you have the right loadout. And it's something of, it's just a laser. I've been able to kill so many people. I will say this, sometimes, probably a lot of times, in a close quarters fight or a medium to medium range fight, you will probably lose to the CI-19 and the M4A1. But again, this is really a situation on how you're hitting your shots and stuff like that, because there is certain times where, of course, you're hitting your shots, and then all of a sudden, you miss one or two, and then they pop you right in the head or something like that. So definitely will say this was. I love that gun though. I gotta give it to that. That gun is nasty. So yeah, it's a great gun. If you guys do want loadout videos and everything like that, please let me know down below. I will say this. Let me know what you guys think about this tier list video. I am going to be doing tier lists for the medic, the engineer, and the recon. For sure, though, I would definitely love to hear opinions and everything. And please let me know down below what guns maybe you also think should need a buff, what guns you would actually maybe even like added to the game. And also, what maybe if you have loadouts, or maybe, you're like, "Ah, dude, this QBZ loadout, you got to try it because it's really, really good and stuff." So yeah. Anyways, I will catch you guys in the next video. Peace out and deuces.